In this gripping story of betrayal and resilience, Olivia Grant, a successful attorney, uncovers her husband Andrew's web of lies, including a shocking affair and financial crimes that could destroy both their lives. As Olivia delves deeper into Andrew's secrets, she's forced to confront not just his infidelity, but a trail of deception involving his mistress and a crumbling career. With stakes rising and emotions running high, Olivia must navigate heartbreak and betrayal while seeking justice. Will she emerge victorious? Or will Andrew's desperate attempts to regain control drag them all into chaos? Watch until the end to find out. It's 2019, and we're in the bustling city of Chicago. The story begins on a crisp October evening, where the skyline sparkles with city lights and the hum of downtown life fills the air. Our protagonist, Olivia Grant, a 35-year-old corporate attorney, sits alone in her high-rise apartment overlooking the city. On the surface, Olivia has it all: a prestigious career, a sleek modern apartment, and a husband most would consider a catch. But as we all know, appearances can be deceiving. Olivia is married to Andrew Grant, a charismatic investment banker with an infectious smile and a knack for winning people over. At first glance, Andrew seems like the perfect partner: successful, attentive, and charming. The kind of guy who remembers anniversaries, compliments strangers, and always tips generously at restaurants. But under that polished exterior lies a man with secrets, big ones. Now, Olivia isn't oblivious. She's smart, sharp, and observant, qualities that made her an ace in the courtroom. But lately, she's noticed a shift in Andrew. His late-night work meetings have become more frequent. His phone is practically glued to his hand, and he's started using vague excuses like, "It's just a client issue," whenever she questions him. Something doesn't feel right, and Olivia, being the woman she is, decides to trust her instincts. Let's rewind a bit to understand how we got here. Olivia and Andrew met 8 years ago at a charity gala. Olivia, wearing a deep blue gown that perfectly matched her eyes, had been mingling with fellow attorneys when Andrew walked up with a drink in hand and a cheeky smile. "Is it just me? Or do these events make you want to order a pizza and watch Netflix instead?" he quipped. That was Andrew, always disarming, always charming. Olivia couldn't help but laugh, and from that moment on, they were inseparable. Over the years, they built a life together that seemed, at least from the outside, picture-perfect: weekend getaways, dinner parties with friends, and ambitious career goals. They had it all. But as they say, the devil is in the details. Now, back to that October evening, Olivia is sitting on her couch, scrolling through emails on her laptop, when Andrew walks in. He's wearing a tailored suit, his tie slightly loosened, and his briefcase slung casually over his shoulder. "Hey Liv," he says, planting a quick kiss on her cheek. "Sorry I'm late, client meeting ran over." She glances at the clock. It's 9:15 p.m. "No worries," she replies, though her tone is measured. Olivia isn't the type to confront without evidence, but her mind is already working overtime. Something about his demeanor feels rehearsed. Andrew sets his briefcase down and heads to the kitchen, pulling out a bottle of wine. "Long day?" he asks, pouring 2 glasses. "Yeah, a bit," Olivia replies, closing her laptop. "You?" "Exhausting," he says, handing her a glass. "But it's all worth it, big deal in the works." They toast, but Olivia's mind is elsewhere. Over the past few weeks, she started to notice inconsistencies in Andrew's stories, tiny cracks in the facade, like the time he claimed to be at a networking event but couldn't remember which hotel it was held at, or the text messages he quickly swipes away when she glances at his phone. As they chat, Olivia studies him. He's relaxed, maybe too relaxed, which only deepens her suspicion. But Olivia knows better than to jump to conclusions. If there's one thing her career has taught her, it's the importance of evidence. Solid, irrefutable evidence. And so, she begins her investigation. The next day, Olivia takes a different route to work. She stops by a small coffee shop near Andrew's office, a place she knows he frequents. Sure enough, as she's ordering her latte, she spots him, but he's not alone. Sitting across from him is a woman in her late 20s, dressed in a sharp red blazer. They're laughing, leaning in closer than 2 colleagues should. Olivia doesn't confront him. Not yet. Instead, she snaps a discreet photo with her phone, her heart pounding. She tells herself it could be nothing, a casual meeting, but deep down, she knows better. Over the next week, Olivia starts to piece things together. She checks Andrew's calendar when he's in the shower, noting the discrepancies between his schedule and the excuses he's been giving her. She pays closer attention to his habits, the way he locks his phone the second she enters the room, the sudden new cologne he's wearing, the extra effort he's putting into his appearance. It's subtle, but it's there. Then, one evening, Andrew comes home later than usual. He's carrying a small gift bag and claims it's for a client's upcoming birthday. Olivia doesn't press him, but when he's asleep, she sneaks a peek inside. It's a delicate gold bracelet, engraved with the initials SM. SM. Who is SM? This is the moment Olivia knows she can't stay silent any longer. She decides to confront Andrew, but not before gathering enough evidence to ensure he can't wriggle his way out of it. And just like that, the stage is set. Olivia is determined to uncover the truth, no matter how painful it might be. She knows the road ahead won't be easy, but one thing is clear: she's done playing the role of the oblivious wife. The first act of this story ends with Olivia standing in her bedroom, holding the bracelet in her hand. Her expression is calm, but her eyes betray the storm brewing within. She places the bracelet back in the bag, takes a deep breath, and whispers to herself, "Let's see how far this rabbit hole goes." The following morning, Olivia wakes up determined. She's never been one to back down from a challenge, and if Andrew thought she was going to turn a blind eye to his suspicious behavior, he clearly didn't know her as well as he thought. With the bracelet still tucked away in her bedside drawer, Olivia starts planning her next move. First on her list, a little digital sleuthing. While Andrew is in the shower, Olivia unlocks his laptop using the password she had memorized months ago. Andrew wasn't exactly subtle with his choice of Grant 2020. She quickly scans through his emails, calendar, and browser history. Nothing too incriminating at first, but then she notices a folder tucked away on his desktop, labeled Work Trips. Clicking on it, Olivia's suspicions are confirmed. There are dozens of receipts from high-end restaurants, luxury hotel bookings, and Uber rides, all for two. One receipt stands out: a weekend getaway at the Majestic Hotel, dated just 3 weeks ago, coinciding with a conference Andrew had claimed to attend. The guest listed on the reservation, Samantha Moore, SM. Olivia's heart sinks. She closes the laptop, just as she hears the water shut off. Quickly composing herself, she steps into the kitchen to pour coffee, her hands trembling slightly. Andrew enters moments later, freshly dressed, his usual confident demeanor on full display. "Morning," he says, grabbing a mug. "Big day at work today?" "Always," Olivia replies, keeping her tone light, but inside, her mind is racing. That evening, Olivia decides to test Andrew's story. "So I was thinking," she says casually over dinner, "maybe we should take a weekend off. There's this place I've been hearing about. The Majestic Hotel sound familiar?" Andrew freezes for just a fraction of a second before recovering. "Majestic? Isn't that the place downtown?" "Heard it's overpriced," he says, shrugging. Olivia hides her smirk behind her wine glass. She knows she's hit a nerve. The next day, Olivia takes things up a notch. She decides to hire a private investigator, someone who can confirm her suspicions without tipping Andrew off. Enter Marcus Hale, a no-nonsense investigator with decades of experience. Olivia meets him at a discreet cafe, laying out everything she's uncovered so far. Marcus listens carefully, taking notes as Olivia speaks. "It's clear something's going on," he says finally. "Give me a week, and I'll get you the answers you're looking for." Feeling both anxious and relieved, Olivia returns home that evening, ready to bide her time, but Andrew's behavior is growing more erratic. He's spending more nights, working late, and has started avoiding her questions entirely. Olivia pretends to play along, but she's more determined than ever to get to the truth. A few days later, Marcus delivers his first report. The findings are damning. Andrew has been meeting Samantha regularly at a boutique hotel on the north side of town. There are photos of the two laughing together, holding hands, and even kissing in the hotel lobby. Marcus also uncovers Samantha's identity. She's an associate at Andrew's firm, a rising star with a reputation for ambition, and, apparently, no qualms about bending ethical lines. As Olivia flips through the evidence, her emotions swirl: anger, betrayal, sadness. They all hit her at once. But as painful as the truth is, she feels a sense of clarity. Andrew's lies have finally been exposed, and now it's time to decide what to do next. Instead of confronting Andrew right away, Olivia decides to play the long game. She knows Andrew thrives on control, and nothing will unsettle him more than realizing he's no longer the one pulling the strings. Over the next week, she starts making subtle changes, rearranging her schedule, spending more time away from home, and casually dropping hints that she's re-evaluating her priorities. Andrew, oblivious to the full extent of her knowledge, begins to notice the shift. "Is everything okay?" he asks one evening, his tone unusually cautious. "Of course," Olivia replies with a smile. "Why wouldn't it be?" But her icy tone sends a clear message. She knows something he doesn't. One evening, Olivia attends a networking event for work. As she mingles with colleagues, she spots Samantha across the room. It's the first time she's seen her in person, and the encounter is underwhelming. Samantha is attractive in an obvious way, with sleek blonde hair and a figure-hugging dress, but Olivia can't help but feel a pang of pity. Samantha seems young, naive even, completely unaware of the storm brewing around her. Rather than confront her, Olivia decides to observe. She watches as Samantha flirts with a group of executives, her laughter high-pitched and deliberate. Olivia sees right through the act. This isn't love, it's a game, and Samantha is playing for keeps, but Olivia has no intention of letting her win. The turning point comes the following week. Marcus uncovers one final piece of evidence. A bank statement showing a series of large transfers from Andrew's account to Samantha's. Olivia is livid. It's one thing to betray her emotionally, but financially, that's a line she won't tolerate. That night, Andrew comes home to find Olivia waiting for him in the living room. She's calm, composed, but her eyes burn with quiet fury. "We need to talk," she says, motioning for him to sit. Andrew hesitates, but obliges, sensing he's about to lose control of the situation. "What's this about?" he asks, feigning innocence. Olivia doesn't respond immediately. Instead, she places a stack of evidence on the coffee table. Photos, receipts, and bank statements, all meticulously organized. Andrew's face pales as he flips through the pages. "You lied to me," Olivia says, her voice steady but cold. "You've been lying to me for months, and I want to know why." Andrew stammers, his usual charm nowhere to be found. "It's not what it looks like," he begins, but Olivia cuts him off. "Don't insult me," she snaps. "I know about Samantha, I know about the trips, the money, all of it. So, here's your chance. Tell me the truth, or I'll walk out that door and let my lawyer handle the rest." This confrontation is just the beginning. Olivia has finally forced Andrew to face his lies, but how far is he willing to go to save himself? And what does Samantha really want? Before we dive deeper into the fallout, don't forget to like this video if you're hooked, leave a comment with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on this unfolding drama. Andrew sits frozen on the couch, Olivia's stack of evidence staring back at him like a courtroom jury. He tries to muster his usual charm, but his mind is racing. "Look, Olivia," he starts, his voice shaky. "I admit I made a mistake." "But, a mistake?" Olivia interrupts, her voice sharp. "That's what you call months of lying, sneaking around, and transferring money to your mistress?" Andrew flinches at the word mistress, but Olivia doesn't back down. She leans forward, her tone calm but cutting. "You don't get to gaslight me, Andrew. Not this time." Caught off guard by her composure, Andrew shifts tactics. "It didn't mean anything," he pleads. "I was stupid, I was stressed with work, and she was just a distraction." Olivia's laugh is cold and humorless. "A distraction? You spent thousands of dollars on a distraction, booked trips, lied about work meetings, and jeopardized our marriage for a distraction?" Andrew's silence speaks volumes. "Here's the thing, Andrew," Olivia continues, standing up and crossing her arms. "I don't care what excuses you've rehearsed in your head, you've betrayed me, emotionally, financially, and as a partner, and now, you're going to face the consequences." Andrew stands as well, his voice rising in desperation. "Olivia, I love you. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. We can go to therapy, start fresh." "Start fresh?" Olivia scoffs. "You think I'm just going to sweep this under the rug because you suddenly regret getting caught?" Her words hit him like a slap. Andrew takes a step closer, lowering his voice in a final attempt to regain control. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this right. You're my wife, Olivia. Don't throw everything away over a mistake. But Olivia doesn't budge. You threw everything away the moment you decided to lie to me. The only thing left for me to decide is how I move forward without you. The confrontation leaves Andrew rattled. He storms out of the apartment, claiming he needs time to think, but Olivia knows better. She watches him leave, her mind racing with the next steps. If Andrew thought this was over, he was sorely mistaken. Meanwhile, Andrew isn't heading to clear his mind, he's heading straight to Samantha's apartment. When he arrives, Samantha is waiting, her arms crossed and her expression icy. "What's wrong?" she asks, but her tone makes it clear she already knows. "Olivia found out," Andrew says, running a hand through his hair. "She has everything, photos, receipts, even the bank transfers." Samantha's eyes narrow. "So, what does that mean for us?" Andrew hesitates, and that hesitation speaks volumes. "I don't know," he admits. I need time to figure things out." Samantha's face hardens. "Time to figure things out? I've been patient, Andrew. I've put my reputation and career on the line for you. Don't you dare stand here and act like you're the only one with something to lose." Andrew tries to placate her, but Samantha isn't having it. "You better make a decision, Andrew," she snaps, "because I'm not going to sit around while you figure things out." Back at the apartment, Olivia starts making her own moves. She calls Marcus Hale, her private investigator, to discuss the next steps. "I want everything ready for court," she tells him. "If Andrew thinks he can worm his way out of this, he's in for a rude awakening." But as she starts preparing for divorce proceedings, Olivia discovers something unexpected. While sorting through Andrew's financial records, she notices discrepancies, large sums of money withdrawn from accounts she didn't even know existed. Curious and suspicious, Olivia asks Marcus to dig deeper. A few days later, he comes back with startling news. Andrew has been hiding more than just his affair. He's been embezzling funds from his investment firm. This revelation changes everything. Olivia confronts Andrew again, this time with the new evidence. "You're not just a cheater," she says, her voice trembling with anger. "You're a criminal." Andrew tries to deny it at first, but Olivia cuts him off. "Don't bother lying, Andrew. I've seen the accounts, the transactions, all of it. You've been stealing from your clients, and now you're going to pay the price." Andrew's mask of confidence finally cracks. "I can explain," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," Olivia snaps. "You're a liar, a thief, and a coward, and now you've left me no choice." She places a folder on the table, a copy of the evidence she's planning to hand over to the authorities. "You've got 24 hours to come clean to your firm. If you don't, I will." Andrew stares at her, his mind reeling. He knows he's out of options, but his pride won't let him admit defeat. "You're really going to ruin my life over this?" he asks, his voice dripping with bitterness. "You ruined your own life," Olivia replies. "I'm just holding you accountable." Meanwhile, Samantha gets wind of Andrew's financial troubles and realizes the fallout could affect her as well. She tries to reach out to him, but Andrew is radio silent. Feeling betrayed, Samantha decides to take matters into her own hands. She contacts Olivia directly, hoping to strike a deal. "Olivia, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from," Samantha says when they meet at a neutral location. "But I think we can help each other." Olivia is skeptical. "And why would I trust you?" "Because Andrew lied to both of us," Samantha says, her voice laced with resentment. "He made me believe we had a future, but now I see he was just using me." Olivia listens as Samantha spills everything. Details about the affair, Andrew's manipulative behavior, and even his attempts to hide his financial crimes. By the end of the conversation, Olivia realizes she has everything she needs to bring Andrew down for good. The tension reaches a boiling point when Andrew is served with divorce papers and an official notice of investigation from his firm. Desperate and cornered, he tries one last time to win Olivia back, showing up unannounced at her office. "Olivia, please," he begs. "I know I screwed up, but we can still fix this. I'll do whatever it takes." But Olivia has had enough. "Andrew, you've spent years lying, manipulating, and putting yourself above everyone else. I'm done giving you chances, it's over." As Andrew leaves, defeated, Olivia feels a sense of liberation. For the first time in months, she's in control of her own life. This climactic moment sets the stage for the final chapter of Olivia's journey. How will she rebuild her life after the betrayal? And what will become of Andrew and Samantha as their web of lies unravels? Don't go anywhere, because the best is yet to come. If you're enjoying the story so far, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. The fallout of Olivia's confrontation with Andrew sends shockwaves through their lives. Andrew, once a man who prided himself on control and composure, is now grasping at straws. He's lost his footing at work, his marriage is crumbling, and Samantha, the woman he thought was his escape, has turned against him. But Andrew isn't the type to go down without a fight. Meanwhile, Olivia is focused on reclaiming her life. She's moved into a temporary apartment, leaving behind the high-rise she once shared with Andrew. The decision wasn't easy. Walking away from the life they built together was a reminder of everything she's lost, but it's also a chance to start over. With Marcus Hale still by her side, she's determined to see her plans through to the end. But Andrew isn't giving up. He begins bombarding Olivia with texts and voicemails, alternating between apologies and angry outbursts. "You're making a mistake," one message says. "We can fix this." Another reads, "You'll regret this, Olivia. Mark my words." Olivia blocks his number, but the threats only escalate. One night, she returns home to find a bouquet of roses on her doorstep with a note that reads, "Let's talk, please." For a moment, she feels a pang of fear. How far would Andrew go to get her back? She calls Marcus, who advises her to document everything. "If he steps out of line, we'll make sure the authorities know about it," he reassures her. But Olivia can't shake the feeling that Andrew is unraveling. While Olivia is moving forward, Samantha is dealing with her own problems. After her meeting with Olivia, she decides to distance herself from Andrew entirely. She deletes his number, blocks him on social media, and starts focusing on damage control at work. But rumors are already swirling about their affair, and Samantha finds herself under scrutiny from her colleagues. One afternoon, Samantha is called into a meeting with her boss. "We've received some concerning reports," he says, his tone icy. "Your personal relationships are beginning to affect your professional reputation. We can't have that." Samantha fights back tears as she realizes the consequences of her actions. She had hoped Andrew would leave Olivia and build a life with her, but now she's left to pick up the pieces of a dream that was never real. The turning point comes when Andrew receives notice of an official investigation into his financial dealings. His firm has launched an internal audit, and the evidence Olivia provided has reached the authorities. Panic sets in as Andrew realizes his options are dwindling. He arranges a secret meeting with his lawyer, desperate for a way out. "What are my chances?" he asks, his voice tinged with fear. "Not great," the lawyer replies bluntly. "The evidence against you is overwhelming. If this goes to trial, you're looking at serious jail time." Andrew's mind races. He can't afford to lose everything: his career, his freedom, his reputation. He considers fleeing, but the thought of leaving his life behind terrifies him. Instead, he decides to shift the blame. "It's Samantha," he says. "She manipulated me. She's the one who convinced me to take the money." The lawyer raises an eyebrow. "Do you have proof?" Andrew hesitates. He doesn't, but he's willing to fabricate evidence if it means saving himself. It's a desperate move, but Andrew is out of options. Meanwhile, Olivia is finalizing her divorce proceedings. Her lawyer is confident they'll win, especially with the mountain of evidence she's gathered. But Olivia isn't just looking for a clean break. She wants to ensure Andrew faces justice for his crimes. In one of their last meetings, her lawyer suggests a strategy. "If Samantha is willing to testify, it could strengthen our case," she says. Olivia hesitates. Involving Samantha feels like opening a Pandora's box, but she knows it might be the key to ending this nightmare once and for all. She reaches out to Samantha, who agrees to meet. Their second meeting is more tense than the first. Samantha is visibly nervous, her usual confidence replaced by unease. "What do you want from me?" she asks, her voice trembling. "I need you to tell the truth," Olivia replies. "About everything. Andrew's lies, the money, Your role in all of it. Samantha bristles at the accusation. I wasn't his accomplice, she says defensively. I didn't know he was stealing until it was too late. Then prove it, Olivia says. Testify, help me take him down. Samantha hesitates. She knows testifying against Andrew could ruin what's left of her career, but it might also be her only chance to salvage her reputation. After a long silence, she nods. I'll do it. As the investigation heats up, Andrew becomes more desperate. He tries to intimidate Samantha, sending her cryptic messages warning her to stay silent. But Samantha, emboldened by her meeting with Olivia, refuses to back down. She forwards the messages to Marcus, who ensures they're included in the case against Andrew. The pressure reaches a breaking point when Andrew is served with an official indictment. He's charged with embezzlement, fraud, and obstruction of justice. The media catches wind of the scandal, and Andrew's name becomes synonymous with betrayal and corruption. In a last-ditch effort to save himself, Andrew calls Olivia. It's the first time they've spoken since their confrontation. Olivia, please, he says, his voice raw. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do, Olivia replies. You made your choices, Andrew. Now it's time to face the consequences. The climax of the story is fast approaching, and the stakes have never been higher. Will Andrew finally take responsibility for his actions, or will his lies catch up with him? And how will Olivia and Samantha move forward after everything they've endured? Stay tuned, because the final chapter is coming soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the epic conclusion of this story. The investigation against Andrew is in full swing, and the pressure is mounting on all fronts. His once perfect life is crumbling, and every move he makes seems to dig him deeper into a hole he can't climb out of. For Olivia, the pieces are finally falling into place, but even she isn't prepared for the twists ahead. Andrew's desperation peaks when he learns that Samantha has agreed to testify. The news hits him like a punch to the gut. Samantha, the woman he once thought was his ally, has turned on him. Furious, he decides to confront her directly. Late one night, Andrew shows up at Samantha's apartment, banging on the door until she opens it. Samantha is startled, but quickly composes herself. What are you doing here, Andrew? She demands, her voice cold. We need to talk, Andrew says, pushing his way inside. His tone is a mix of anger and panic. Why are you doing this to me? Doing this to you? Samantha scoffs. Are you serious? You lied to me, Andrew? You used me, and now you want to blame me for the mess you created? Andrew tries to defend himself, but Samantha isn't having it. You're the one who broke the law, she continues. You're the one who betrayed your wife, and you're the one who's going to pay for it. Andrew's composure snaps. You think you're so innocent? He spits. You knew what you were getting into. Don't pretend you're some kind of victim. Samantha glares at him, unflinching. Maybe I made mistakes, she says. But at least I'm owning up to them. You should try it sometime. Her words cut deep, and Andrew storms out, slamming the door behind him. As Samantha watches him leave, she feels a mix of relief and fear. She knows the confrontation isn't over. Meanwhile, Olivia is preparing for the divorce hearing. With Samantha's testimony and the mountain of evidence against Andrew, her lawyer is confident they'll win. But Olivia isn't just focused on the legal battle. She's also working on rebuilding her life. She's taken up a new hobby, painting. It's something she hasn't done since college, but it brings her a sense of peace amidst the chaos. She's also reconnected with old friends who've rallied around her in support. Slowly, but surely, Olivia is rediscovering who she is outside of her marriage. Still, the looming court date weighs heavily on her. She knows Andrew is unpredictable, and she braces herself for whatever tricks he might have up his sleeve. The day of the hearing arrives, and the tension is palpable. The courtroom is packed with reporters, all eager to cover the scandal that has captivated the city. Olivia enters with her lawyer by her side, her expression calm but determined. Across the room, Andrew sits with his own legal team, his face a mask of defiance. The proceedings begin with Samantha's testimony. She takes the stand, her hands trembling slightly as she speaks. I met Andrew through work, she begins. At first it was professional, but over time, things escalated. As Samantha recounts the details of their affair, The courtroom is silent. She admits to knowing about the stolen funds, but insists she didn't benefit from them. "I trusted him," she says, her voice breaking. "I thought he cared about me, but he was just using me." Andrew's lawyer tries to discredit her, but Samantha remains composed. Her testimony is damning, and it's clear that the judge is taking it seriously. Next, Olivia's lawyer presents the financial evidence. The records are meticulous, showing every fraudulent transaction Andrew tried to hide. As the evidence piles up, Andrew's confidence begins to falter. He fidgets in his seat, his usual charm nowhere to be found. Finally, it's Olivia's turn to speak. She takes the stand, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "I trusted Andrew with my heart and my future," she says. "But he betrayed me in every way possible. This isn't just about an affair or money, it's about accountability." Her words resonate with the courtroom, and even Andrew looks visibly shaken. For the first time, he realizes the full extent of what he's lost. After hours of testimony and deliberation, the judge delivers the verdict. Olivia is granted the divorce, along with a significant portion of Andrew's assets. But the consequences for Andrew don't end there. The criminal case against him is moving forward, and the evidence is overwhelming. As Andrew is escorted out of the courtroom, the weight of his actions finally sinks in. He's lost his wife, his career, and his freedom. For a man who once prided himself on control, the realization is devastating. For Olivia, the verdict is bittersweet. She's relieved that the legal battle is over, but she knows the road to healing is just beginning. She takes a deep breath as she leaves the courtroom, feeling a sense of closure for the first time in months. Outside, Samantha approaches her. "I'm sorry," she says quietly, "for everything." Olivia studies her for a moment before nodding. "We all make mistakes," she replies, "but what matters is what we do to fix them." With that, Olivia walks away, ready to start the next chapter of her life. The story isn't just about betrayal and revenge, it's about resilience, accountability, and the strength it takes to rebuild after being broken. Olivia's journey is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's a way forward. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in Olivia's shoes? See you next time. The courtroom battle might be over, but the aftermath of Andrew's betrayal is still rippling through the lives he's touched. For Olivia, the divorce settlement and the verdict in her favor mark the beginning of a new chapter. But as she steps into her new life, she reflects on how much she's changed and how much stronger she's become. In the weeks following the trial, Andrew's life falls apart completely. The internal investigation at his firm uncovers years of fraudulent activity, and he's forced to resign in disgrace. His name is plastered across headlines, and his once glittering reputation is reduced to a punchline in the business world. To make matters worse, the criminal charges against him are piling up. With Samantha's testimony and the financial evidence Olivia provided, the case against Andrew is airtight. His lawyer advises him to take a plea deal to avoid a lengthy trial, and Andrew reluctantly agrees. He's sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay restitution to his former clients. For a man who once thrived on power and control, the reality of prison life is a harsh wake-up call. Andrew spends his days reflecting on the choices that led him there, but the damage is already done. As for Samantha, her testimony against Andrew helps clear her name to some extent, but her career is still in shambles. She resigns from her position at the firm and decides to leave the city entirely, hoping for a fresh start. It's a humbling experience for Samantha, who finally acknowledges the role she played in the chaos. She decides to focus on rebuilding her life, vowing to make better choices and avoid the mistakes that led her down this path. Meanwhile, Olivia is thriving. The divorce settlement provides her with financial stability, but more importantly, it gives her the freedom to start over. She moves into a new home, smaller than the high-rise apartment she once shared with Andrew, but cozier and filled with possibilities. She pours herself into her work, earning a promotion at her law firm and becoming a mentor to younger attorneys. Olivia also reconnects with her passions, spending her weekends painting and volunteering at a local art center. But the biggest transformation isn't in Olivia's surroundings, it's in herself. For the first time in years, she feels truly empowered. Andrew's betrayal was devastating, but it also forced her to confront what she really wanted in life. She's no longer defined by her marriage or her pain. Instead, she's defined by her resilience and her determination to move forward. In a final act of closure, Olivia decides to write Andrew a letter. She doesn't send it. It's more for her than for him, but putting her feelings into words helps her let go of the anger and hurt she's carried for so long. In the letter she writes, "Andrew, I won't pretend I've forgiven you, because I haven't. But I've learned that holding on to anger only hurts me, not you. What you did was unforgivable, but it doesn't define me. I've rebuilt my life, and I'm stronger now than I ever was with you. I hope you take this time to reflect on your actions and become a better person. Not for me, but for yourself." With the letter tucked away in a drawer, Olivia feels a sense of peace she hasn't felt in months. The chapter is officially closed, and she's ready to move on. The final moments of the story show Olivia hosting a small dinner party in her new home. It's a simple gathering with close friends, filled with laughter, good food, and warmth. As the evening winds down, Olivia steps onto her balcony, a glass of wine in hand, and looks out at the city skyline. For the first time in a long time, she feels truly content. Her journey hasn't been easy, but she's come out stronger on the other side. The betrayal she endured could have broken her, but instead, it became the catalyst for her transformation. As the camera fades out, Olivia smiles, her voice narrating a final reflection. "Sometimes life forces you to face the truth, no matter how painful it is. But the truth can also set you free. And when you're free, the possibilities are endless." And that's the end of Olivia's story. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, but we hope you found the journey as powerful and inspiring as we did. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the ending. Did Olivia's journey resonate with you? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another incredible story.